The first pilgrimage, or Umrah Dhulqada, was the first pilgrimage that Muhammad and the Muslims made after the migration to Medina. It took place on the morning of the fourth day of Dhul-Qa'dah 7r, after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah 6r. The entire event was 3 days long. A pilgrimage that occurs during the month of Dhul-Hijjah is named a major pilgrimage, or just pilgrimage, while pilgrimages of all other months are called minor pilgrimage. History. Muhammad, a Meccan merchant, had reported that from the age of 40, he was receiving revelations from God. He and his followers, called Muslims, were persecuted by the ruling clan of Mecca, the Quraysh, and forced to flee to the northern city of Medina. Several armed confrontations followed, along with the Muslims attempting a return pilgrimage to Mecca in 628, as directed by one of the revelations. They were rejected by the Quraysh, but the Meccans did agree to a truce, and the Treaty of Hudaybiyah had a provision that the Muslims could return peacefully to Mecca for a pilgrimage in 629. Pilgrimage. Aurihik al-Maktum. In the chapter The Compensatory Umrah, the event is described as follows. When Dhul-Qa'dah month approached towards the close of the 7th year the Prophet ordered his people, and the men who witnessed al-Hudaybiyah truce treaty in particular, to make preparations to perform Umrah. He proceeded with 2,000 men besides some women and children, Fath al-Bari 700, and 60 camels for sacrifice, to visit the holy sanctuary in Mecca. The Muslims took their weapons with them, fearing the treachery of the Qurayshites, but left them with a party of 200 men at a place some 8 miles from Mecca. They entered the city with the swords in their scabbards. Zad al-Maad to 151st. Fath al-Bari 700, with the Prophet at their head on his she-camel, Al-Qaswa, while the surrounding companions attentively focusing their look on him, all saying, "Here I am, at your service, O Allah." The Qurayshites had left the place and retired to their tents on the adjoining hills. The Muslims performed the usual circumambulation vigorously and briskly, and on recommendation by the Prophet they did their best to appear strong and steadfast in their circumambulation, as the polytheists had spread rumors that they were weak because the fever of Yathrib had sapped their strength. They were ordered to run in the first 3 rounds and then walk in the remaining ones. The Meccans meanwhile aligned on the top of Qaisara Mount, watching the Muslims, tongue-tied at witnessing their strength and devotion.